All right, good afternoon, third graders. So today we are going to, first of all, on our last lesson, we talked about peer pressure and the negative ways that someone can be peer pressured. And today we're actually going to do the opposite. But first, I really want to review with you guys the different ways that someone can be peer pressured. So if you can think of examples that we talked about on Monday of different ways that someone might try and peer pressure you into doing something. Does someone have an example of that?
They might try to peer pressure you to bully somebody or to not like someone.
Yeah, to bully someone else. Okay, that's a good one. What about any other ones?
Someone might someone might peer pressure you to, like, do something you don't want to do.
Yeah, to do something you don't want to do. So
Like something unsafe.
Yeah, like going past the boundaries at recess. That might be something, or to do something that you're not supposed to on the monkey bars. What did you say?
Don't want to do.
Don't want to do. Thank you. Yeah, so those are both examples of that. And peer pressure kind of is like bullying. They're kind of are the same thing. So it would be both are good ways of explaining it. If you ever get in trouble and you need to tell someone, you can say that someone's peer pressuring you. And those are both good ways to say that someone is. But then, how are ways that we can say no? So if someone does decide to do that to you, or they want you to go past the boundaries, what are ways that you can say no to them?
You can say, I don't feel comfortable with that.
That's a good one. What about another one?
You can say that's not a good idea.
That's a good one too. You can also just say, no, I don't want to do that. Or, yeah, I don't feel comfortable. Or anything like that. You can go tell an adult. If you're really scared and it's really uncomfortable, then you can go tell an adult too. Those are all good options for you. Then, right now, we're going to make a list of the different ways that you can have negative peer pressure, so kind of similar to what we talked about, and then positive, because there really is a positive peer pressure too that you can have. I'll give you an example to start with for positive peer pressure. So this would be something like if someone were to really want one of your friends to join a club or to join a new sport with you, so that could be considered a positive form of peer pressure. So to join a new sport. But then a negative form of peer pressure would be someone trying to get you, like we talked about earlier, to go past the boundaries at recess. Past boundaries at recess. Okay, so now you can think about this with just the two of you and come up with your own ideas of the way that someone might try and get you to do something positively and then something negatively. So you can talk for, I'll give you about 30 seconds, and then we'll write them up on the board. Okay, go ahead.
Positive could be hanging out with a new friend.
That's a good idea. I also have a friend who is really, really, really good at like doing his homework on time, and so it makes me want to do my homework on time too.
Okay, I'm hearing really good ideas. So let's just do one way that you can be a positive peer pressure, or that positive peer pressure might happen to you.
Well, like maybe if someone is trying to push you to do something that you have to do or should do in a good way, like my friend always makes sure that I do my homework on time.
That's a good one. Okay, so pushes you to do your homework on time.
Yeah.
To be a better student. Pushes you do homework on time. Okay, that's a great one. And then what about another negative way that someone might get peer pressured?
To not be friends with somebody that you're friends with.
That's a good one. To kind of bully someone or not be friends with someone. Okay, to not be friends with someone. Okay. So both of these show different types of emotions that people might have. So if this is happening to you, say you're being peer pressured into doing something like joining a new sport or pushing, or you're trying to push someone to do their homework or they're trying to push you to do your homework, what emotions do you think you would feel in that category?
Motivated.
That's a good one. Motivated.
Determined.
Motivated and determined. Good ideas. Okay. And then for the opposite, how would we feel for the negative category? So if they're trying to get you to do something that you don't want to do.
Frustrated.
Good. Frustrated.
Sad.
Yeah. Sad. Okay. Yeah, there's a lot of different types of emotions, but it's important to realize that that you can look at it in a positive light, but you need to know the negative side of it too. So if something like this were to happen to you, or you see your friends getting peer pressured, we're going to get into that a little bit more later on this week, then you know how to recognize that, and then you can help someone who's being peer pressured. And lastly, we're going to talk about what kind of things you can do as a peer around your friends to make sure that things like the negative side don't happen. So what can you do to be a positive peer with your friends?
You can let them know that you're going to stand up for yourself and for other people.
That's a good one. To be like an independent friend, or to be a positive, you're being like a positive role model. Positive role model. Who's willing to stand up for your friends, and you're not going to take it when someone's mean to you. Good. And then that's pretty great. And then on Wednesday, we're going to talk about, like I said earlier, how if we see someone else, one of our friends being peer pressured, what we can do to make sure that we can stop that, different ideas, and how we can